Hello, people of the internet. Welcome to another episode of SlamTube here on Pez of the Mind. I am James Phoenix. With me is Chris the Mole.
Hello.
And we're here today to talk about the, I don't think it's the first ever, but it is the first pay-per-view to emanate from Australia in a very long time.
Yeah, it's definitely not the first one because you can even go on the network right now and they're hyping up global warming, their old one.
Ah, okay, fair enough. Well, in either case, for the first time in a long time, emanating from live from Melbourne, Australia, was the WWE Super Show Down,
Yep.
which aired in respective time zones, 9 a.m. on that side of the pond,
10.
and 10. Okay.
And then 5. And then 5.
Yeah, 5 on this side of the pond, yeah. Fair enough. So let's go ahead and see what happened.
Did you not watch it?
No, I did. Just going to the list here, remember the order. So the opening match was for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship and saw the New Day take on the Bar.
Yep.
And that was a good opening match. I did like that they used Kofi and Xavier and didn't use Big E. I think that made the match a little more interesting, where it was the speed game versus the power game.
Yeah, this was an okay match.
Yeah.
The wrong team won. But yeah, it was generic for the tag matches, but it was okay.
Yeah, both teams did a good job. I like the New Day. I have no problem with the winning, but I would have been equally okay with the Bar winning because they're also a great team. So, all right, next.
The ending isn't the only problem with that. It was, like I said, it just felt generic.
Yeah.
But like tag matches we've seen like 1,000 times on SmackDown and Raw.
True. Although, and I don't know if this is the first time they've used it. I did like that double team Xavier and Kofi pulled out, where Xavier did the backstabber and then held it, and then Kofi hit him with like a coup de grace. That was cool.
Fair enough.
All right, the second match of the night was the SmackDown Women's Championship match between Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch, which resulted in Becky Lynch retaining via DQ after hitting Charlotte with the belt.
I like this match.
Yeah, these two always put on a great match.
And I like what they've been doing with Becky recently. And yeah, it's a good feud. It's a good feud, and like I said, they've done good things with Becky, and like the getting herself disqualified and stuff like that. It's fun.
Yeah, and it's fun to watch the juxtaposition where, like, even after the match, she attacks Charlotte and just like beat the hell out of her. You know, some of the people nearby in the crowd, not to be picked up on the camera mic, were still chanting Becky, Becky.
Yeah, the crowd have still cheered her, but WWE is still trying to book her as a heel.
Yeah.
Even though their official stance is, no, you can cheer for whoever you like in the feud.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but you're clearly telling us to cheer for one over the other, for off.
Yeah, exactly. It's like saying you don't care that we boo Roman Reigns. All right, next up, we had a tag team match, which saw the recently formed partnership of Elias and Kevin Owens taking on Bobby Lashley and his tag team partner, the returning John Cena.
Yep, this was fun.
Yeah.
Cena's move is weird as fuck.
It is.
His punch.
Yeah. Also, he looked weird with hair.
Also, I don't know how true this is. I read it online afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently his new move is literally Mandarin for 6 moves of doom.
Ha! That would be hilarious if true.
I don't know if it's true though, but multiple places posted it, so I'm just throwing it out there because it sounds like it could be true.
I believe that. I mean, after he hit him,
to be fair, he did hype this up for weeks and weeks, and even months on Twitter, saying he's famous for having the 5 moves of doom. Now he's going to add a 6. So it seems like he might do that and then name that in Mandarin because it's funny.
Michael Cole did sell it. He hit that. Michael Cole was screaming, "The 6th move of doom!"
Yep.
But yeah, fair enough. So they picked up a victory, and that was cool. I was a little disappointed at the lack of Bobby Lashley's hype man, Leo Rush, but I guess they didn't want to fly an extra guy down to Australia, and that makes sense.
Yep.
We then followed up with a women's tag team. Sorry, go ahead.
Plus, we didn't need him.
That's true.
Because he's the hype guy. He does promos.
And that's true.
He doesn't need to be at ringside because Lashley can get the job done in the ring. That's the point with those two.
Right. I did like John Cena's little post-match promo, though, where he got to just thank everybody for the honor of letting him perform there and being part of the show. And you could tell that he really meant that, and that was cool.
Also, fun little fact for you.
Okay.
Who did John Cena defeat for his first WWE title to skyrocket forward?
That's a good question. I think it was JBL, wasn't it?
It was JBL. Whose hair did Cena have during this pay-per-view?
He looked like JBL. He did. I thought the same thing.
I was like, oh, cool. It's like JBL. He's got JBL's hair. You either die a hero.
Exactly.
But I was like, oh, okay. And there was people complaining online that he had a bald spot. I'm like, well, he's older. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, I mean, the dude's in his 40s. Cut him some slack.
It's not like he's literally saying, look at my long hair. He's just kept his hair that length because he's filming a film, so he's not going to cut it back to the buzz cut for an appearance.
Yeah, exactly. He's not Shawn Michaels walking around saying, look at my long hair while balding for like 10 years.
Yep. Well, I would also argue with Shawn Michaels, his hair was one of his I don't know what you call it, trademarks.
That's true.
To the point that when people see him bald now, a lot of people have suddenly turned on him online because they're like, well, he's not Shawn Michaels anymore. Why he's bald? I don't care.
Wow.
To be fair, it was one of his trademarks. It was like he made it a thing. It was his thing.
See, I'd be okay with him being bald if it wasn't for the fact that under his cowboy hat, he's wearing that weird black headband thing.
That's for a reason.
Oh, is it?
I assume because I don't know if you wore many cowboy hats. No.
But I was a kid, not recently.
I've got one, as you've seen, the little leather one and stuff. If
Yeah.
you get them right, they can be really tight, and they can leave a mark. But if you've got something there in place with the hat on it, it's more comfortable, so it doesn't chafe in the hot weather with the sweat going on it, and it also just stops it cutting into you.
Fair enough. There we go.
I think he was wearing it as a hat buffer.
That makes sense. Learned something today. All right. So we followed this up with a women's tag team match between the Iconics and the recently formed team of Asuka and Naomi.
Yep.
As much as I like Naomi's gimmick, that's really a big demotion for Asuka.
Yeah, she deserves it. She has nothing going for her besides I'm undefeated and I dance.
That is true.
It's literally Fandango running the Goldberg gimmick. It's no, because people are like, no, her streak's ended. No, boo! Now they've killed all credibility. And it's like, well, if all she has is the streak, when she doesn't have anything,
That's true.
it's Spider-Man with his suit in Homecoming.
Yeah.
If you're nothing without the streak, you don't deserve it.
Yep. And the heel team, the Iconics, came out victorious, which makes sense given that they are an established tag team who has worked together in that capacity for a long time.
Actually, I would say it made less sense that they won.
You think so?
They're in Australia. Recent years, WWE's tended to make the hometown talent lose whenever they're there.
That is true.
But I'm happy they picked up the win. I don't like the Iconics. They're basically dollar store Bellas, but they're pretty
Kind of, yeah. Well, they got a hometown victory, so good for them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So that's good for them.
Yeah.
Also, I will say, when Jim mentioned Naomi's thing of glowing, you forgot to mention Asuka's hair glow.
That's true, it did.
Which
I think her coat did a little bit too.
I'm not that fussed on Naomi or Asuka, but the entrance looks cool.
Yeah. I agree. All right. Then we had AJ Styles defend the WWE Championship against Samoa Joe in a no countout, no disqualification, there must be a winner match.
I did not like this. This is one of the few times where the ending does make a difference to the match. Only because Joe's got no credibility. I've said that for a while. Okay, fair enough. They kept prolonging it with shenanigan wins or shenanigan losers and stuff like that. But when it comes to him, he just loses to him. It's like, no. I mean, there's a reason when I played WWE 2K19, available Tuesday if you're getting the standard edition. But there's a reason during the story mode, Samoa Joe just gets tossed around like fucking cannon fodder in your feud against Braun Strowman. Because when Joe was there, I was like, okay, we're not going to use Joe. Joe just gets the ring, punches him a couple of times. Braun just chokes him around like a ragdoll, and that's it. And I'm like, wasn't he also a threat to Brock when you were injured? No, Joe's got no credibility. Okay.
Which, honestly, to bring up the 2K games, is even more obvious when you consider that last year in the 2K18 story mode, Joe was the Universal Champion and referred to by Stephanie as our guy.
Yeah, that story mode was completely fucked up last year with so many errors.
Yes, it was. That is true.
But this year, the Universal Champion seems to be Braun.
Yep. That's cool.
I think WWE likes to do that where they're like, okay, we're just going to put the title on some random person because it's probably going to be out of date when it comes out and people will complain. But if it's on someone that wasn't even champion at the time or isn't afterwards, no one will complain. It's just a game.
That's true. All right. But yeah, so AJ defeated Joe via submission in the calf crusher after targeting the injured knee.
Yeah, it's also a submission, which I argue if it had been Roman Reigns or John Cena, imagine if John Cena made Samoa Joe tap out to his finisher.
Yeah, that's a
Imagine
burial.
how the internet would be.
Oh, yeah,
That's how I wouldn't say it would be a burial because, to be fair, it's meant to be a devastating submission move. But I would just make the case that the internet would be like, boo, but because it's AJ, they let it go.
Mm.
Kind of getting sick of him as champion at the moment.
Yeah, I was
only because he hasn't had a good feud. I like AJ, but I don't like his championship run this time. Like the first one had Dean Ambrose feud, which was great. That was a great feud. This one, every feud he's had has been like, oh, we're gonna hit each other in the nuts. Oh, we're gonna keep getting disqualified. Oh, shenanigans, wins.
Yeah.
And he keeps becoming an afterthought. Like he became an afterthought in a feud between Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens while being world champion.
That's true. But technically, it's not like WWE didn't set precedent for that. I mean, The Miz was the WWE champion, and he was an afterthought in the feud between John Cena and The Rock.
But I would make the case that's John Cena and The Rock, not Shane McMahon.
That's true.
Jumping onto an obvious crash mat while Sami Zayn pulls him to safety.
Yeah. Also, can I note, by the way, how much of it seems like kind of a smack in the face that if you look at the roster in this game, all the McMahons require purchase or unlock except Shane.
That makes sense.
He's not important enough to be locked behind a paywall.
Yeah, I'd say that makes sense, or I would argue Stephanie also shouldn't be. Only because they were both at WrestleMania and she's in her WrestleMania attire.
Yeah.
But I'd also argue Shane probably because he was in the Daniel Bryan one in the showcase.
That's true. All right. So moving on.
I have everything unlocked.
Nice.
I'm surprised you don't do that. Just go to the unlock and click boom button. You got the deluxe one.
Yeah, I've got the button. I just didn't hit it yet. I should. So next up, we have the Bella Twins teaming up with Rowdy Ronda Rousey, the Raw Women's Champion, to take on the Riot Squad in a 6-woman tag team match.
Yep.
And
this time, no serious injuries.
Nope. And I was impressed by Ronda with the double armbar submission.
I liked the double armbar.
That was cool. Yes, the faces were victorious, and I was a little. I was thinking maybe Natty might show up, and they might at least start setting a little more groundwork for the reported Natty heel turn because Ronda's hanging with the Bellas and not her, but they didn't do that, which is a good thing. I think it helped keep the match focused.
Logically, if you believe all the reports, aren't they building towards Nikki versus Ronda for Evolution? So they might want to get that out the way first.
Okay, I didn't hear that, but yeah, I could see them doing that. All right. That was decent. We then had a Cruiserweight Championship match between Cedric Alexander and hometown hero Buddy Murphy.
I'll let you talk about this. I personally will just say this match was the worst on the card.
Okay. I thought it was an entertaining match. I liked how the two went back and forth a little bit. It was rather Well, it was very over. It was very over the top.
It
Um,
was it was a cruiserweight match. It
yeah.
was basically the things I hate about the cruiserweight matches is,
Mhm.
for lack of a better term, lack of psychology. Like that corner spot where he runs up and he throws him off, runs up, throws him off, runs up, throws him off. You're like, why would you try it multiple times?
Yeah. Uh,
But it looks cool in quick actions. That's all they care about. And I'm like, no, I
yeah.
want to see a reason behind everything.
I got about the same thing when Buddy Murphy went for that big suicide dive, and he actually leaped too high in the air, and Cedric like barely touched him, and then he crashed down. But I give him credit for recovering, rolling through it, just popping up and just waving at the crowd like nothing happened. That was funny.
Fair enough.
But yeah, hometown hero Buddy Murphy, the new cruiserweight champion. I didn't see that coming, but good for him. I figured if anybody was going to get the belt, it would be Drew Gulak. But props to Buddy Murphy.
Fair enough. I'll just say this match shows where there's a reason no one watches 205 Live.
Yeah, that's fair enough. All right, we then move on to the much hyped six-man tag team match between The Shield and Team Braun, Dolph, and Drew.
I liked this match. It wasn't as good as it could have been, but it was good for what it was, and we had some cool moments. Like I loved that quick spear through the barricade.
Yeah, Roman just comes out of nowhere, bam! That was great.
I love that, and it had some good little moments, and it was a good match for what it needed to be.
I like how they did the apron thing, and then Dean got up and they teased, oh, is Dean signed with the heels? Is Dean signed with the heels? But then he didn't.
Yep.
So they built that up well. That was good. So yeah, that was a good match. It was what it needed to be.
Yep.
That was entertaining. Now we can move on to this this triple threat universal title match at the next thing.
Yep. Which I'm looking forward to that, because let's face it, it's Roman, it's Brock, and it's Braun. That's gonna be.
We have seen this match before. It's usually a good match.
We've not seen this match before.
Didn't we?
No, because Joe was in it. It was a four-way, and everyone
that's right.
triple teamed Brock and took him out. We're not going to do that this time.
That's true. That's true. All right. And then we had ourselves a one-on-one match for the number one contendership to the WWE title between Daniel Bryan and, if you want to hold the shirt up, The Miz.
The Miz. Did not like this.
It was really short. Like, what the hell? Did they run out of time or something?
I'm going to say I don't mind Daniel Bryan winning to become number one contender for the crown jewel. I was expecting that, but it was ridiculously short.
Yeah, like what? That was weird.
And I also argue when Bryan lost in like 18 seconds in really short matches, people were like, boo, that's unfair. But when he beat someone really quickly, no one's complaining.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Miz deserves better than that.
You know, when it first happened, I was like, wait, was that supposed to happen? Did the ref just call that accidentally? But no, then the Miz started the Miz went a full on unbelievable heel reaction. I'm like, no, okay, that was planned. Wow.
Yep.
I mean, Bryan and AJ should, by all rights, be a great match.
In my opinion, no, just out of personal preference, like I said, the match should have been longer. That's my complaint with it.
I agree.
Not who lost, but in my personal preference, Miz should have won.
Okay.
Because I think Miz going to Crown Jewel, beating AJ Styles, and Bryan winning the Rumble would be a much bigger WrestleMania moment.
I can see that. I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if they went to Crown Jewel because, you know, it's an AJ as champion match, so there has to be shenanigans. So I wouldn't be surprised if The Miz interfered in that match and cost Bryan the title to keep their feud going.
Possibly, but I'm not sure about that. They might try and get him into the title picture at WrestleMania another way, like Elimination Chamber or something. I don't know.
Money in the Bank?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Haven't they already done that? Because Braun wants money.
Oh, right. Yeah, they already did that for the year. That's not until after WrestleMania. Oh, they'll figure some way out.
This isn't 2K19. You can't just vacate the briefcase and equip it to someone else.
But you can customize it.
You can. Also worth noting, but more on that when we actually go to review the game. I don't like how they've done Money in the Bank as the title thing. I like it and I don't.
Okay.
I like it because that's awesome, and now they've done a lot of stuff for Money in the Bank really well. What I don't like is you can only assign one briefcase per show. So you have to pick in advance before Money in the Bank if it's going to be a Raw Money in the Bank or a SmackDown Money in the Bank, or have 2 for each show, which would be overkill in my opinion.
Yeah. Because I know when they were showing like the sample shots, they were saying they were showing like a show that had like 4 titles and then a men's and a women's.
Yeah, that's what Raw has. But when you get to SmackDown, it has none. And I clicked it to try and equip the same Money in the Bank. Can't do it. You have to either use your custom one, which I have a custom one in there, or you have to, but it's not equipped in there, or you have to just basically create ones, and it's stupid. Or
Yeah,
move them over. So I've put the women's on SmackDown, the Raws on the Raw one gets the men's one because that's who got the championship this time. So I'm like, well, that's what I'm gonna do.
well, that does make sense. The only way I could see you might be able to get around that, because I went into the briefcase creator, played around with it a little bit, and when you create the briefcase, you have to pick a title it's for. So I would imagine you could probably put the briefcase on both shows if you had like one undisputed championship on both shows. It might let you do it that way.
It might do, but I don't want an undisputed champion.
Right. Anyway, so Daniel Bryan goes on to the next one, and then we go to our main event for the last time ever. Triple H with his best friend Shawn Michaels taking on the Phenom, The Undertaker, with his brother Kane.
Did it? And that's Mayor Kane to you.
Mayor Kane, sorry. I got confused because he didn't drive down in his smart car.
That's only for when he's doing his tour. He's never drove that in the wrestling.
I know.
And he's been back since. But I like this match. I really fucking like this match.
Yeah, these guys showed why they are the legends they are.
I know there's some people who didn't like this match but that's fine. And I know there's some people claiming you could hear them call the moves. I personally didn't hear him call it, and I just enjoyed the match as it was, and it was great storytelling. Ironically, what the cruiserweights could learn from, great psychology.
Yeah.
Like when he's beating down Triple H, and the only reason Shawn gets in the ring is because Undertaker keeps provoking him to make him come into the ring. And they set up the table earlier, and they had the stuff go on just to set up the thing later on where they put Kane for it.
Yeah.
Negative point on this, in my opinion, is Kane was way too easy to defeat.
Yeah.
He went through one table, he's like, done.
I was talking to somebody, it wasn't Jeff, but I was talking to another friend of mine as we were watching this, and I'm watching this like Kane's like over here like as they're doing all this stuff, watching. I'm like, Kane, like, why are you acting like you're afraid of Shawn Michaels? Like, you're most well known for ripping off a cage door and beating the shit out of Shawn Michaels. We know you have the capability to do this.
That's not what he did. That's not what he did at all. Hell in a Cell, he ripped the cage door off, debuted, stared at Undertaker. Undertaker was like, oh shit, after Undertaker's beat up Shawn Michaels, Kane tombstoned him. Shawn Michaels then crawled in a pool of his own blood and put his arm over him and got the win.
Taker attacked. Okay, right, my bad. I fucked that up.
You did. But yeah, basically, Kane should be more monstery than this. It's like his power level just fluctuates depending on need.
Yeah. And I was a little disappointed with the table spot, if only because, and I'm sure it's because obviously these are not young guys anymore, but it seemed like Triple H just kind of gingerly fell off the apron and kind of pushed Kane through the table.
I would make the case, yeah, he kind of did, but I would also make the case Triple H isn't known for doing diving elbows.
This is true.
So at least it looked like something he in his like something. Okay, he's trying to put him through, and it still looked cool and went boom through the table.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. I mean, I will say it's not going to be the last ever.
No.
If the rumors are correct and the ending sets it up perfectly, it's going to be DX Brothers in Crown Jewel.
Yep.
But yeah, they set it up way, and I liked that ending. It was emotional, and everyone's like hugging, and then they turn.
Yeah.
I make the case you can't really say Undertaker and Kane are heels at this point because I don't think people will boo Taker that much.
No, they will not.
But I will say something I've learned in WWE over the years
Mhm.
from watching is, as much as I do like Undertaker, he is my favorite. He's kind of a sore loser in recent years.
A little bit.
In olden times, way back when, he used to lose, and then that'd be it. That's fine. You can move on to other feuds now and, and sometimes he'd get revenge. But like Brock and like now and stuff, like he holds a fucking grudge. Like if he loses, he's like, no, fuck you.
Well,
But I like that.
in all fairness,
He's
though,
grown to that.
yeah, in all fairness, though, Brock provoked the grudge, though, because, like, Undertaker be like, I'm tapping out with a submission, and Brock is like, no, I'm going to bleed from the mouth and flip you off. I refuse to tap out your submission hold. Like, Brock provoked the shit out of him.
To be fair, that was because Undertaker came out and then attacked him because he broke the streak.
That's true.
Although, to be fair with that one, I've heard Undertaker mentioned Paul Heyman was the one that provoked him more because he kept mentioning it every week.
Yeah.
But it was still fun. I like Brock v. Undertaker. But yeah, the Undertaker Kane, Shawn Michaels Triple H thing, it was fun. Kane, I feel, was completely useless. I feel like Kane could have been replaced with anyone. They could have Bastion Booger out there and it'd still be the same match.
Pretty much.
Maybe bring out the Shockmaster, you can then fall through the table.
There you go.
No, okay, no. Obviously, Kane adds the emotional history element and nostalgia of the brothers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like the only thing he did was he interrupted one fall by pulling, I think it was the ref out the ring.
Yep. Well, he also chokeslammed Shawn Michaels at least once.
Yeah, on the outside, which. You know what I mean? Like, sure, like Kane feels like he didn't need to be like anyone could attack Shawn Michaels on the outside.
Yeah. I do have to say the one part of me that I like is like, you know, I mean, obviously I know they're increasing in age, but was I the one who was like really distracted by the fact that the Undertaker had his long dark hair and then gray hair like right here?
I like that look. I like the Mr. Fantastic look. It looks dignified, right? To be fair. No, I like that. One thing I will say is, Undertaker in this match, I believe, showed why he's great at selling.
Yeah.
Because one of the things, I don't know if you picked up on it or not, but during the matchup, he looked fucking exhausted by the end of the match.
He did. He looked like he was going to pass out when they were holding their hands up at the end.
But then suddenly, he's tombstoning people and stuff, and he's perfectly fine and walking back fine. So you have to wonder, like, how much of that was the age and he's actually tired? Or how much was he just trying to sell, I've put everything into this match?
Right, exactly.
Which I liked it. I liked that match. I genuinely liked that match.
I was a little disappointed that the Brothers of Destruction got the top of the stage and the show cut off before they did the fist raise.
Yep. It did, unfortunately. But I give that match of the night. I like that match.
Definitely. That was a great match. That was excellent.
But yeah, the pay-per-view as a whole, I thought it was okay, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
I liked what we got. There was some matches there that were pretty good. There was some that were but you get that on pay-per-views. It was still a good pay-per-view. One thing I will note, there seemed to be no pre-show or after-show.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Which was weird. I would kind of expected one. And some people would be like, well, the time zone difference. Like, it didn't stop them with the greatest Royal Rumble. I like having a pre-show, even though we don't cover it on here. I do like having one.
Yeah.
Because it adds that sport element.
Yeah. And I did like that after they switched to Jonathan Coachman as on the pre-show, because that's almost more like an ESPN environment, which he has become used to. So I think he works much better in that environment.
Yep.
All right. Well, this has been the Super Showdown. Overall, an enjoyable show. And we'll head forward now, coming up the first ever all-women's pay-per-view Evolution, and then Crown Jewel in November.
Yep.
So stay tuned for all that and more. Check out 2K19.
Not to be confused with Evolution returning for SmackDown 1000.
Yes.
Or 100, or whatever the hell it's on.
Yeah.
I think it's 1000.
It's 1,000, yeah.
But yeah, SmackDown 1000 has Evolution return,
Nice.
which makes no sense.
No.
Because they were a Raw group.
Yep.
I'm like, they weren't. No.
Anyway, check out 2K19 Deluxe Edition and Woo Edition available now. Regular Edition available Tuesday.
Yep.
And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.